Hello and welcome to your monthly You Are The Ref video newsletter. I'm James Gregg, and this month we're going to start by seeing how many of you out there know your laws of the game. Have a look at this short animation brought to you from our very own Paul Trevelyan and Keith Hackett.
You give permission for a substitution to take place on the halfway line where the ball is out for a throw-in. The incoming substitute, before running on, takes the throw, releasing the ball with his toes on the touchline. Do you intervene?
We will reveal the answer at the end of the show. Now back to business and in this month's news. Alan Biggs talks to 3-time world squash champion about his thoughts on refereeing in football in Cards on the Table. We take a look at the highlights from Glasgow's Question Time. David Moyes talks about lessons he's learned in La Liga, and we see what's happening at the National Football Museum in Manchester this month. Former Everton, Manchester United and more recently Real Sociedad manager David Moyes has spoken with You Are The Ref about the lessons that he learned in the Spanish La Liga, saying during his year as manager of Real Sociedad, he found the style of refereeing vastly different to the Premier League, and he couldn't believe the sheer number of bookings and that it's difficult for the referees to see through all the play acting at times. The referee he liked the most out there was surprised when David told him it was actually because he stopped the game less than the others and allowed the game to flow. David went on to say he was brought up in a family with a strong football background, to love the game and always respect the referees, as there could be no game without them. That experience underlined what a difficult job all referees have wherever they may be. To read more about David's experiences in La Liga, head on over to youaretheref.com. 3-time world squash champion Nick Matthew has spoke about his views on officiating and how football has been a little bit behind on incorporating technology into the decision making. Our very own Alan Biggs met up with Nick to see what he had to say.
Now we have cricket, we have tennis, we have rugby union, rugby league, all bowing to the value of technology, and football only just embracing it. Has that surprised you?
It's incredibly surprising when you see how seamlessly it's settled into the sports now. You know, in cricket, if it's an LBW, straight away, even if the other team's not reviewed, you want to see, well, actually, would it have hit the stumps? And it's bizarre, especially something as black and white as if it's crossed the line. Why that just wasn't implemented as soon as they had the technology to do it is beyond me, and I just don't understand it at all. I understand the argument, to what extent do you use the technology, because you don't want to break the game up. You do see some American sports, for example, they seem to have a review for everything now, and the game goes on for hours and hours and hours, and you don't want to lose that flow of football. But something as black and white as did the ball cross the line, I'm surprised it didn't come in 5 years ago.
You can watch the full Cards on the Table interview at our YouTube channel or use the link at the end of the show. We've had a great response to our Question Time in Glasgow last month with special guests Alan Brazil and Neil Lennon. The panel discussed everything from Neil Lennon's time at Celtic to hot topics such as video technology, grappling in football and the standard of officiating in Scotland. To give you a taste of what it was like, here's a few highlights from the event.
Neil, you must have some bad decisions go against you as a player and a manager. You have no idea. The best team I ever saw was Guardiola's 2011 team that beat Man United at Wembley. Do you agree with that? Yeah. In terms of, you know, you're talking about pure football and the pace in which to pass the ball, and we talk about physicality in the game, and these guys weren't the biggest, but the pace they played at and the way they could handle the ball under pressure, the mentality was fantastic, and Cruyff he had the blueprint for it, which he set up in the 70s. Martin O'Neill comes in at half time and he always gave me sort of a bollocking. Regardless, right, you know, where's Henrik? Where is he? And he went, you get hold of the ball. Henrik, being Henrik, went, don't tell me what to do. And we were all like, And Martin's like, what? This went on for about 10 minutes. No one was budging. Went out second half. Hedrick scored a hat-trick.
You can watch the full video at our YouTube channel, and to keep up to date with Question Time events near you and all other You Are The Ref news, head over to our website and subscribe to our social media channels. The National Football Museum and You Are The Ref have a whole range of events happening to celebrate the great game of football this month. On May the 3rd, Master of Movement Paul Trevelyan is set to unveil the one and only signed portrait of Winston Churchill, drawn by Trevelyan when he attended a historic cup final between Arsenal and Newcastle on the 3rd of May 1952. Trevelyan will be sharing some of his tales, including the day he met Churchill at the museum from 12 p.m. onwards. Also at the National Football Museum this month is the official rebrand of the You Are The Ref area in the museum and the eagerly anticipated Uden Trophy teams announcement, which will be held on Thursday the 19th of May at 11 a.m. Again, to find out more about these events and others, head over to youaretheref.com. And finally, coming up in this month's Ref Show with Alan Biggs, we have Ref Show veterans Mark Halsey and Keith Hackett, as well as BBC pundit Mark Lawrenson, David Hurst, Brian Dean, and former professional assistant referee Glenn Turner. That's all for us this month. To find out more or to have your say about any of the topics in this month's newsletter, please visit youaretheref.com, and I'll leave you with the answer to Keith's question at the start of the show. Bye for now.
A substitute has to enter the field of play at the halfway line, with your permission for the substitution to have been properly completed. But as the touchline counts as part of the field, he technically has entered the field here, so has done nothing wrong. The substitution is valid, the throw is valid, and you should play on.